Welcome to Patty's Aquatics. Now in today's video is going to be something a little different. I'm going to be telling you guys a story of a koi my daughter nicknamed Stupid. Now if you can't tell from the thumbnail or the title of this video, my koi is gone. But in order to tell this full story, let's start from the beginning. I got the koi about a year and a half ago, right before summer tubbing season last year. I knew I wanted to try a koi, and I know for a fact that my setups will never be big enough for it long term. But I knew I could at least raise it for a couple years just to kind of see how they are. I never kept koi before. I wanted to have an idea of what they were like, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity. And I found out very fast, at least in this fish. Like we all know, all fish have different temperaments for the most part. This one was a little bit of a bully. So the koi did not live alone in that Rubbermaid tote. I bought two other small goldfish with it when I bought the koi, and then I also had two existing goldfish in there. Now the story on those were, I got them from my daughter. When she was in high school, one of her teachers bought two feeder goldfish and brought them to class for some kind of show. I don't know what it was for. I couldn't even tell you. But all I know is what they were done, they were going to flush the fish. But my daughter said no, she'll take them, and brought them home. So she actually put them in this little fish bowl here that I used for my free aquarium setup video. So by the way, go back and check it out if you're interested. So they lived in there for a little while. Then they wound up graduating to this container here, which I'm using also for an upcoming video with my angelfish fry. So keep an eye out and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So then they kind of graduated to a couple of my tanks for a while before I wound up getting this 100-gallon tote and put them in there. And that's where the bullying part started to come into hand. As the koi grew, it became more dominant and more dominant. It would outcompete the other fish for food, the small ones that hide at the bottom. The bigger existing goldfish, he'd push out of the way. And then what the kicker was, did you know koi can eat guppies and endlers? I did not know that. Do you know how many pairs of guppies that I lost in this tub from him eating them and not knowing where the heck they were going? Yeah, so that was another big annoyance for me. I wanted to be able to have this a mixed guppy and endler type of pond with the goldfish. My other goldfish never ate any of the guppies I've ever seen that I had them housed with. They just kept disappearing. So yeah, I found that out. That wasn't nice either. I didn't like it. Yeah, he was increasingly just living up to the nickname my daughter gave him of Stupid. But then the deaths started happening. My first existing goldfish, didn't see it for a while. At that time, I had the entire top of the water covered with redwood floaters because I was growing them for a swap meet I was going to. So I really didn't see the bottom of the tub very often. It was just basically when I fed the fish, I would see the koi and the goldfish coming up to eat. And I was cleaning out the tank some in there, and there was an old piece of fake wood that I had in there. It was in one of my old tanks. From when I switched it over, I threw it in here because I usually kept a lot of my old like pieces of wood or rock or whatever plants. I would always throw it in here to keep it alive or just somewhere to house it until I figured out what I wanted to do with it. Well, I picked it up and there was a head. I'm assuming that goldfish got stuck in there. Very well could have been hiding from that koi. I really don't know. But all that's left was a head. Then the next one wound up having some issues. I found the next existing goldfish. It was missing its eyeballs. Now, in my opinion, the only thing in this tub that would have ate its eyeballs out are that koi. So he was tormenting it, and that one eventually died as well. We called him One-Eyed Willie.
One-Eyed Willie.
Until he lost both eyes, and then he was just No-Eyed Willie. So he was gone. So the two existing goldfish that my daughter got from school were no longer. They were about 5 years old. And I knew at that point, it's time. It's time for Stupid to go. So I posted an ad in my Patty's Aquatics Facebook page and then put it to a few of my local fish groups. And I had a few bites. Then finally someone reached out and said they would be interested in taking it. They had, I believe he said, a 1,200-gallon pond that he had just finished building outside, and it would fit in perfectly. So I said, you are more than welcome. I just wanted him to go to a better home. I knew, like I said in the beginning, that this was only a short-term stay with me. It was more of me trying to get an experience with a fish I never kept before. And I was gladly just to give him away to someone that would enjoy him, because I was not enjoying Stupid anymore. I decided that after I got rid of him, I have all these plants in my tub floating from my outdoor tubs that I needed to do something with, and he would eat all the plants as well, that I wanted to plant this tub now. So that's where we lead up to today.
So I got the majority of the plants in here. I really like the look of the pond lilies in here with the lily pads to the surface. And then, like I said, I put the majority of the plants in here. Some of them I put up in my 75-gallon puffer tank. If you haven't, check out one of my last videos where I removed the filtration. I added some of the Dorsage, and that was from the ponds. But there's a lot of room for these goldfish to be swimming around now. So it'll be interesting to see what their personalities will be now that that big stupid koi is not in here anymore. They can kind of form their own personalities in little pecking order between the two of them. Now, there's also other fish in here. There are 3 Corydoras that I had from about 7 years ago, and then I have a few albino bristlenose plecos. Then I have this mystery snail, and also a few guppy and antler mixes. I'm really excited to see how this pond turns out now that big stupid koi is gone.
I hope you enjoyed that story of a koi named Stupid. Now, keeping a koi was an interesting experience. I know for myself, going forward, I will never buy one again unless I actually get a huge pond outside at some point. I found it to be a very interesting fish. It grew very fast. I found it to be very beautiful. It just didn't fit in for what I have, and obviously my sizes of my tanks. And I found out, like I said before, koi eat guppies. Did not know that. Well, on that note, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, share, comment, do all that good stuff. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time here at Patty's Aquatics.